awesome second season of the
Rockin' House.
Today we have a special guest all the way, probably the furthest guest we ever had, all the way from Sydney, Australia. We have beautiful Lisa Hellz Perry. She's a rocker. I'll tell you what, she's awesome. We are so excited to have her on the show. Rock dude.
Yeah, she has a brand new album out that's just released called Hell's Abyss. She has most of her videos can all be found on YouTube. And one of her videos, I was surprised, she's a multi-talented musician. She plays all the instruments on the video. How cool is that?
Yep.
And if I had to say, she's like Lita Ford, a younger version of Lita Ford. So I wanted to get that out there if you didn't know about Lisa Perry. And she's endorsed by some cool manufacturers like our Rhodes Microphone here company. They're out of Australia.
Olympus Guitars.
Yeah, Olympus Guitars out of Greece. And
High Voltage Coffee Company.
High Voltage Coffee. So Lisa Perry from Sydney, Australia. And some of my favorite groups of all time. When I grew up in the 70s, Little River Band, and I still listen to the hell out of Little River Band. And, of course, Mark's going to tell you.
AC/DC. She's a big fan of Bon Scott. She did mention that.
Yeah, she's in good company down in land down under.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, she's beautiful besides and multi-talented. So what do you think, Mark?
All right, we're going to bring her on, but before we do, I want to mention that Ronnie Hoxie had her as a cover girl last July in 2020. You can pick up that copy with her on the front, endorsed with that Olympus guitar. She's straddling that in her hands.
Right. So this is all about connecting the dots. There's been multiple shows that we must have known these people in another life. We've been connecting the dots. Like, for example, today she connected with Bobby Rondinelli.
Yes. He was going to play drums. She went to connect with him in New York, and something didn't work out. But that's where that connection came from.
And then basically she's connected with Autograph, and so are we. So
absolutely.
So connecting the dots is just, I guess, part of the whole spiritual vibe going on in the Rockin' House. So
in the music business.
Yeah. So take it away, Mark.
All right, we're going to bring on Lisa Perry, Hellz, as everybody knows her from, and she's going to be coming to the U.S. soon. And of course, she has a lot of exciting things to talk about on the show today. So welcome, Lisa Hellz Perry, to the Rockin' House. All right, this is Marky Z, and I'm here with my partner, Rock Dude, at another second episode here of our season 2 of the Rockin' House. We have all the way from Sydney, Australia, live today. Welcome, Lisa Hellz Perry, to the Rockin' House. Welcome.
Hey, Marky Z, it's a pleasure to be here today on the Rocking House in the USA. Looking forward to a great chat with you.
Awesome. So are we, and we're so happy to have you here all the way from Australia. But I want to start our show with how you became a singer, why you wanted to be a singer. Was this maybe a childhood dream of yours to be like your favorite rock stars?
Awesome. Well, you know what? I was born for rock. From the moment I was born, I was ready to rock. Everything in my life has just been rock. My father was a rock drummer. I was brought up and I grew up on Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Yes songs, Status Quo, Bad Company, and who else have I got? Rob Halford. It goes on the list. And do you know what? Every one of them musicians brought such a great connection to emotion, and it was always dancing around with a vacuum cleaner or cleaning a room to some rock and roll or Freddie Mercury. Look, how can you not want to get into rock and roll when you're brought up in that era?
I couldn't agree with you more, and of course I'm sure AC/DC is a huge influence, being that that's where they came from in Australia. And I'll tell you what, when I first heard them, I was instantly hooked. When I was like 10 years old, that was it. I was like, these guys are awesome. No question about it.
AC/DC were brilliant. I absolutely love them now, and I am a massive lover of Bon Scott, huge lover of Bon Scott. His art and craftsmanship is so much of what I'm after too. And I think people, when we are on tour around the world, are going to notice this, that you'll see all these other girls getting up singing, and then you'll see me coming in like a camel, like a female Bon Scott.
I'm loving it. So Are you saying you're going to get a chance to tour with AC/DC?
No, but I want to.
You want to?
I've got
Okay.
my own tours going on
Okay.
internationally.
All right, I was like
Let's
whoa.
make it happen.
All right.
Where are they? Let's make this happen.
Hey, you know what? Let's make it happen. If we can do it, I'm the kind of guy that wants to make things happen, and I pretty much do, and I don't stop. So you know what? Like you said, I was always born to do this. I knew it at 6 years old when I saw Kiss. So let's talk about some of your influences on the different instruments. Now, the one video you have, that's all you playing in that video, isn't it?
In We Want Rock, yeah.
Yes, that's all you. Okay, so you could play every one of them instruments. Is that correct? So you're a multi-versatile musician.
Yeah, honestly, my craft is singing, and I'm a master of my voice. When it gets, I'm simple. I play simple music, but it helps to write. It's always helped to write.
Sure.
Keys are more my thing. I love the drums. I was always brought up with a drum kit in the house.
Nice.
I'm left-handed, so the thing was there was always guitars, but they were right-handed in the house. So I used to play upside down and back to front, which is why I can do that whole God chord, the Hendrix chord, they say.
Okay. Very awesome. That's interesting you say that because I'm a left-hand player, but I learned to teach myself to play right. And I can't play nothing in my left hand that saved my life. But in the right hand, forget it. It's like rock star. That's it. Because I taught myself for years. And that's interesting. Awesome. So those are definitely your influences. We talked about that. And of course, you said you were born to rock. You said you came out, this is what I want to do. This is what I am going to do. This is what I am. That sums it up right there. I couldn't say it any much better myself. So let's talk about some other things. Let's talk about different guitar players. Let's start with that. Even though you do multi-instruments, who are some of your favorite guitar players?
Hendrix is one of my favorite guitar players.
Right. Cool.
I tend to love players that have a connection, like I said, to emotion. If there's something there and you can just feel it, and you can go and listen to any music, but it's like it elevates a level higher when people are connecting to emotion.
Agreed.
And that's just the epitome of music and what it is when you hear that. You can't be taught to do that. You can't be taught. You've got to be born with that. And that's, Eddie Van Halen. It's the same thing, they're all amazing. He's another one I love too. God bless him.
Awesome.
Going.
Rest in peace, Eddie, man. What Van Halen, great. I was brought up with that, like you said. Unbelievable. They made impressions in our lives as young kids, becoming inspiring musicians as we become today and continue on doing that. Very awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to come back with Lisa Perry, Hellz, in just a minute and talk about some of the new ventures she's got going on, especially with the new album. with Lisa Hellz Perry again. Thank you so much for coming to the show. This is awesome. We talked about your influences, which are very similar to most musicians I talk to, and different things of like, instruments that you play, that you're multi-talented, which is awesome. Let's now talk about your new ventures. Let's talk about what's going on with the new album. Let's talk about We Want Rock. Like, that's a really awesome song, and it's got you all featured playing all the instruments. We already talked about that. But let's talk about some of the new album now. That's the Hell's Abyss, right? This song here's got Salute, which you know what Salute is, right? Let's talk about that. What's some of your influences on, like, what inspired you to come up with the concept of that album? Because it's very interesting.
N1FG is not one fuck given, right? It's about just all the shit that we go through.
Okay.
You're a muso yourself. You understand it. In this industry, you've got to keep going with not one given. You've got to keep kicking ass. It doesn't matter what you do. You're going to get phony managers. You're going to get people that say they run record labels. You're going to get people that rip you off and sell your merch and take the money and put in their pocket and then say you owe them $10,000. This is the industry. You're going to get guitar players. You're going to get bass players that hurt you, maybe narcissists. There's a lot of narcissistic personalities in this industry because they're performers.
Right.
That's what they're born to do. It is an industry where you have to be 100% certified, not one fuck given to keep going.
Right, okay. So that's how that concept came about. All right,
Yeah.
an interesting concept of that album, which I was going to say, it kind of reminds you like AC/DC talking about A Long Way to the Top. You want to rock and roll. They were talking about that in the 70s. Is it the same deal it is then? It is now. And you're right. You don't know what's going on in this industry. There's a lot of people that talk a bunch of BS, and there are people that also are for real. But you don't know sometimes, and that's the scary part of this rock and roll business. So anyway, let's talk about some of these songs. Let's talk about Liar. I have to say, that video is interesting. And of course, I want to talk about Salute because that's crazy with the straitjacket. But this Liar video really intrigues me because I could see a lot of females actually really relating to that one.
Yeah, bloody oath. It's, that was the most fun I've ever had making a video. I got to smash a room up. It was huge fun.
Okay.
And you know what? I can do it so much better for real. It was hard when the pressure was on,
Really? Okay. Interesting.
It is. Liar's about when you're peaking in your anger. Do you know when you have that moment and you just lose it and you go, I'm going to smash it. I'm going to smash it.
Yep.
That's that moment.
Yep.
And when you've had enough of someone lying to you or, it's just getting that. And I thought by doing that and bringing that out in a song, it would help people be able to get that out too, Could you imagine being in your car and some bitch just lied to you or something and you're sitting there and you go, you fucking liar, and it just helps you get that out.
Yes.
Go for a drive around the block and put Liar on.
Well, I tell you, it's some real pissed offness in that song, and you're really bringing out the emotion, no question about it. Like you said, music is emotion, and you are definitely bringing that to your videos, which is awesome. Just like Salute. I mean, we always see this, but your concept of that is kind of interesting, and it's kind of got this 9-inch nails going on type of metal type of sound, and then you also got like this Lita Ford deal going on, which you said that we talked about, that people do say that to you, that you kind of relate to her as her image back in the 80s into what's going on now, what you're doing.
Yeah. Old but new, man. That's what it's all about. It's something fresh, but something that we're comfortable with too. Yes, the loot is, you've got fan mail, motherfucker. Here it comes.
Very awesome. And then I want to also bring up another thing that's awesome is that, we know that you had the opportunity to be on the front cover of one of the biggest publications in rock and roll and sexiest women in the world, Flirt magazine, with a very good friend of ours, Ronnie Hoaxie. How awesome was that to be on the front cover of that, holding your axe and saying, yo, look at me? Yeah,
it was absolutely awesome. I think I just got the endorsement with the Olympus guitars, and I thought we got up there and we got to hold the guitar and put it on the actual cover as well. It was great. It was awesome fun. I smashed a window in that photo shoot. A bit.
Did you?
And I had to pay for it to be fixed. Yeah. I tripped over one of the lighting. I tripped over a lighting source and it went straight through. Oops.
So Wow, that's kind of hard to ask this next question. But how was it? How was it like working with Ronnie? Because I'll tell you from our experience, he's a great guy. No question
Yeah, he's
about it.
awesome, Rocky. Yeah, he's awesome. And like I think I was mentioning to you earlier, I have a song on N1FG that is for him and Float Magazine. Paperback Lover.
Wow.
Grab yourself, go get yourself a good time.
And now, have you told Ronnie? Does he know about this song you actually put in your
I
album?
know. I've mentioned it to him, and I have to actually send it to him. I was thinking again last night, I should sit down and send Ronnie this song because I want to write out the lyrics for him and make it all special with his.
How amazing.
And he's glad with it. It's a funny song.
That is so
it's about
cool.
a poor man.
That is so cool. Well, I'll tell you what, hold that thought. We're going to come back in just a minute with Lisa Hellz Perry.
I can't seem to figure it out. Lost your mixture and the thought that you found a way out. Oh, your memory stays in my mind and your words touch my soul. Oh, now all I have is a loss I can't win, no control. Slowly awaking, I see that you made your mind up. My heart is breaking, the reason you gave it all up. The smile you were faking.
All right, this is Marky Z, and I'm back with Lisa Hellz Perry. Awesome. What a cool conversation we've been having so far, having you as a guest on our show today. I want to talk about something that Rock Dude pointed out to me just a minute ago about dreams. You did this amazing cover showing versatility besides heavy metal, the Nine Inch Nails thing, even this techno. I mean, you are very versatile as a musician. Obviously, can play more than one instrument on top of that. And you just don't give it, you're just going to do it, and that's it. End of story. You're going to like it, you're not going to like it. So let's talk about that. You did Dreams, and you said this was from an emotional point in your life that just made you say it was the moment, I'm going to just do this, and that's it. I just feel like it. Here it is.
Yeah, it was so much. It was in the moment. I just stepped off a plane back from the US, and I'd had an amazing, promising partnership with a producer over there and a guitarist.
Nice.
He was an original guitarist for Megadeth. And it didn't work out. It didn't work out. So when I got back, it was a real rough trot. So and it when I sung that, it was just in that moment, of wow, there was a lot of jealousy and a lot of horrible things that went on that caused the end. Total band stuff. Doesn't matter if you're amateur to professional. Total band stuff.
Well, you don't quit. That's the bottom line. You keep moving forward. In this business, you got to keep fighting. You got to keep moving forward.
You've got to take what you get and use it to come back 100 times stronger.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Absolutely. Let's talk about some shows you've done. Let's talk about some memorable shows that Lisa Hellz Perry has got an opportunity to bring out her music to let people see her live in action. What are some of the best shows that you've done, like memorable ones that really stick out for you?
Yeah, the most memorable show that I've ever done was at the Sydney International Regatta Centre. So that was the Olympic Regatta Centre. They open it up every year for Australia Day celebrations. There was a 40,000 audience.
Wow.
And I got to stand there just before the fireworks went off, so the biggest part of the day, and I got to do my originals and play AC/DC.
Nice.
And you know what? My dad was on the drums behind me.
Is that right?
How fucking awesome is that?
That's amazing.
best moment of my life, that one on a stage. So, yeah, how could you beat that?
40,000 people. That's pretty
Yeah,
impressive. That's amazing.
40,000. Yeah, and they were
Wow.
all there because they were waiting for the fireworks. It was like a captive moment.
Nice, nice. Wow. Is there any other moments other than that, or that was the biggest one that really sticks out?
That's my Yeah, that's my most. I mean, I went and I had a good show over in the US last year. My
You did.
first time performing in the US down in Ohio, and
Okay.
that was amazing too. It was really nice just to see everybody just love. I mean, loved me. I was doing a bit of that. I was doing some originals. We were
Sweet.
cranking, and I also just rocked up to a bike club in a
Okay.
bikies club over in the States too, and jumped up and got up and sung some AC/DC, and that was sick too.
Nice,
But
nice.
it's sometimes the smallest moments are the best moments too.
Sure,
We
sure.
played for a uni once, just a uni gig, and it was the most wild bloody gig. Nurses know how to party, I tell you. Med students rock.
Nice. So, have you ever had any opportunity? I know you really would love to do something with AC/DC, and let's see if we can make that happen for you any way we possibly can. Who knows? Dreams can happen. They can. You just got to believe in them. Is there any national
Yeah.
acts that stick out that you've had opportunity to perform with and maybe support them on a show or tour?
Yeah, so I've had a chat and I've actually collaborated with a few majors out there at the moment. You remember Steve Philbin from Iron Butterfly? We chat.
Oh yeah,
Um,
of course.
Yeah, I'm actually really close to Jimmy Bell from Autograph and Steve
Nice.
Lynch, the original guitarist. We chat. And there's a collaboration maybe that I do talk with Lucas Fox, the original drummer from Motorhead, Lemmy's bestie.
Okay.
We talk too. But yeah, there's so much opportunity, but everyone's so friendly. That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
not that it's like, oh, I'm who's who. People's shutters come down really fast in this industry if you're a bad person.
Oh
If you're a
yeah.
good person, the doors stay open with rock and roll because that's celebrated. We love that, and I've been so fortunate to be thrown in so many circles where people just accept me, especially in the US. How lovely is it over there? Like, it's such a family. In Australia, it's a bit more. The people seem to put themselves on pedestals,
Is that right?
and so I don't get along with a lot here because I'm a lot different and more grounded. Felt like I
Right.
was the family over in the US.
Okay, and then I would like to ask a couple more questions here. Let's talk about what's new coming up for you. Do we see? I know with the scandemic, but things are starting to open, this and that. Do we have anything planned to come to the U.S.? Is Hellz going to be coming to the U.S. again? Is she going to be going overseas with her project? What's going on? Do we have anything to let the fans know here
Yeah.
in the U.S. to be looking forward to again?
Yeah, there isn't a day that goes by where people are asking me when I'm coming to the US. I
Awesome.
definitely will be coming to the US. I've got a forever invite to into New York for
Okay.
a show and festival there. I'm just waiting for everything to clear up. There's also a few boat cruises, rock boat
Nice.
cruises. I've been asked that if I'd had interest on jumping on.
Wow. Nice.
We're just waiting for this COVID thing to settle a bit so we can have the bigger shows.
Right.
But definitely in the last few weeks, we have brought back that I will be going to Europe, to tour the UK and Europe on the 25th of October to the 17th of October. 25th of September
Okay.
to the 17th of October on the International Women
Nice.
of Rock Tour. Yeah.
Awesome. So you do got things in the works. It's just this COVID, like everybody says,
Yeah.
is
Oh,
holding
man.
things
We got
back.
South Korea and Japan in 2022. I'll be over there, and
Wow.
everything. This was all meant to happen in 2020, but
Okay.
it was like that was all happening, And the
Yeah.
first stop was the US. First stop was US, and it just all went
Yeah.
gone.
So that's the big story with all these people that we had on the show. All the rock stars, even people that are national that aren't level rock stars. But I'll tell you one thing I can tell you we all have in common, no matter who's, I don't care if we have Steve Lynch, you talk about Autograph, what an awesome guy he was to have on our show. He's one of our first interviews, the original guitar player for Autograph, and he gives his blessing to Jimmy Bell. I just want to make a mention of that, taking over as a guitar player in Autograph. Because
They're phenomenal, both.
yes, they are very amazing people. I tell you right now, they're such good friends. Steve Lynch, we still are connected with him, and he's an amazing guy. Again, we're going to have him on the show and have him come back because he has a book he's writing about
Yeah.
autobiography, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so he just told me he was writing. He was finishing up his autobiography. We were talking about that the other week.
Nice, nice. He's an amazing guy. Well, I'll tell you what, it sounds like you got some really cool stuff going on. You got some plans for your future. This COVID is the only thing, is like everybody else is slowing everything down, but as soon as it's ready, you're ready to rock and get out there and do what you do best and show the world, hey,
Hell yeah.
this is what I want to do, and do it.
Hell yeah.
You know, so this is so awesome. So I want to say so much thank you for coming to be our guest on our show today, all the way from Sydney, Australia. My partner, Rock Dude, I'm Marky Z. Thank you so much. We'd love to have you come back again with some new things come into play. I'm out.